We'll all go ahead and sit up nice and tall, relaxing the shoulders away from our ears, drawing a full breath in through our nose. And as we exhale, we'll open mouth sigh, release that breath, letting it go. Inhale through your nose, big giant breath in as the abdomen expands. And as you exhale, open mouth sigh, let that breath go, begin to connect the navel towards the spine. And one more big giant breath in, full belly breath in. Shoulders stay down as you breathe in, crown extends up as you breathe in, and then exhale, open mouth sigh, release and let that breath go. We'll go ahead and take our tongue, lick the lips and seal them to one another. And as we seal the lips to one another, if our energy is good, take the tip of your tongue, press it lightly to the roof of your mouth. If your energy is a little bit lower, you're having difficulties finding stillness in this moment, then just let your tongue rest comfortably on the bottom portion of your mouth. With the tip of the tongue or not to the roof of the mouth, you've created a channel for your breath to flow in and out. There's a soft constriction in the back of the throat as you draw this breath in. And as you release this breath out, you'll begin to notice that the sound you're creating with your breath sounds like an ocean. So it's known as our oceanic breath, or also our victorious breath. As we begin breathing in and out of the nose, start to acknowledge the surroundings around you. Perhaps it's the temperature, perhaps it's a breeze, maybe it's the texture of what you're resting on. And as you invite yourself to explore all these external factors, do your best not to make any assessment or judgment over any one particular thing. If you find that you're warm, let yourself get cool. If you find that you're the opposite, then allow yourself to get a little jacket or a blanket to find warmth first. Continuing that inhale and exhale through the nostrils, creating that oceanic sound. Let your chin drop down towards your chest as you exhale. As that chin releases down towards the chest, you can trace your collarbone from right side to left side and strum it back and forth. If you prefer a full circle around towards the back of the room, it may require that you support your head. And if that's the case, just take your fingertips, place them on the outside edges of your ears or the skull, and you can create those circles. But if you prefer just leaving the chin to the chest and tracing collarbone to collarbone, or even that stillness, give yourself that ability or that permission. If you did take those full circles round and round, and I invite you now to switch it out the opposite direction. Continue that inhalation through the nose and that exhalation out of the nose as you begin to release the scalenes, the levator scapula, which is that area from the ear somewhere down towards our shoulder, not completely that low, but in that vicinity. When you're ready, you'll exhale, lower that chin back down towards your chest. And as you inhale, you'll shrug the shoulders up towards your ears, bring that gaze forward with or without those eyes opened or closed. As you rise up nice and tall, bring your hands into prayer. And as those hands come into prayer, you let your thumbs rest at your sternum. Breathe in through your nose here. Breathe out of the nose if possible. Relax the shoulders away from the ears and take a moment here for yourself to guide your love, your light and energy towards you, your self-care, or perhaps there's someone or something that you know could use your love, your light. Whatever you decide on, and inhale through the nose, bringing love, joy into the body. And as you exhale, release and let that breath go. If your eyes are closed, slowly begin to flutter those eyes open unless you desire to keep them closed. As you take your next breath in, circle sweep those arms out to the sides, up to the sky. The palms kiss over our heads, and we'll exhale, bring those hands into prayer and at our heart space. Inhale, we pull our shoulders up towards our ears. Exhale, we roll those shoulders back down. Inhale, we circle sweep our arms back up towards the sky, and we'll exhale. Pull the heads of the elbows down. Let your thumbs reach back just a little bit. And then inhale, those arms reach right back up. On our exhale, our right hand releases to the right side of the mat, and our left fingertips extend in a crescent shape towards that right side. Relax that left shoulder away from your ear. Relax that right shoulder away from your ear, and perhaps have a soft bend in this right elbow. You can gaze anywhere from the thumb to the forward or up to the sky. One more inhale here as you lower and release this left knee and left hip down. On your next breath in, extend and reach all the way back up towards the sky. Exhale, pulling the heads of the elbows down, lifting through your heart, bringing those ribs together. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, releasing that left palm down to the left side of the room, extending the right fingertips over. All those soft adjustments that you made on the opposite side, see where you can connect here. Is it shoulders away from the ears, that soft bend of the elbow, the lengthening through your fingertips? One more breath here. Let that breath go. And then inhale, work your way back to center as the arms reach up. We'll exhale, pull the elbow heads down once more. On our next breath in, our arms reach up as we gaze up, palms kiss, and we'll exhale, bring our hands into prayer and at our heart space. Releasing the hands down to the thighs, switch the direction you have your legs crossed. And if there's something in your way, just move it out of the way. If you need to support any portion of the body, let yourself support. Wiggle the hips side to side, anchoring through the sits bones once more, grounding down, and then inhale. We all extend our arms up, palms kiss. We'll exhale, bring those hands into prayer and at our heart space. Inhale, shrug your shoulders up. Exhale, roll your shoulders down. Inhale, circle sweep those arms all the way back up towards the sky, and then we'll exhale. Pull the elbow heads down, bring our fingertips towards our shoulders. As the fingertips come towards our shoulders, we'll take this right elbow forward. We'll send this left elbow forward. Just a couple of times just to find that fluid movement through your vertebrae, and maybe get fancy or let your head move like a little small groove. And then pause in the center. Rotate it the opposite way. So now left elbow goes back, right elbow goes back, back and forth. Notice what happens with your ribs. Are they expanding? Notice what happens with your breath. And not that anything is incorrect, it's just an observation. Come back to center. As you come back to center, inhale, those arms reach up. And as we exhale, we'll take this left hand towards our right thigh and either exhale, twisting and sending this right hand behind us, or bringing the right fingertips back towards our right shoulder, your choice. Rise up nice and tall. So if you've leaned the body back, let yourself go less into a twist and just allow the body to find its natural space as you wring it out. A full breath in here. A full breath out here. One more big giant breath in, letting that breath go. As your hand is on your shoulder, on your next breath in, both arms will reach back up towards the sky. And as we exhale, our elbow heads pull down as we lift the heart up. Keep the ribs together. Inhale, arms up. As you exhale, send that right palm now towards that left thigh, and then decide, do I want to bend my elbow and bring the fingertips to my shoulder, or do I want to extend my fingertips behind me and shrug my shoulders back and down as I slowly turn my gaze towards this left side? A full inhale here, a full exhale here. Another big giant breath in, and letting that breath go. Wherever you're at, we inhale, come back to center as our arms reach up towards the sky, and then we'll exhale. Keep that gaze up if your neck feels good. Pull the heads of the elbows down. Send the thumbs back just a little more. Inhale, our arms reach up. Palms kiss, hands come into prayer and at our heart space. Once more, find that brief moment for yourself. Enjoy this love, this light, and your gratitude. And then as we exhale, release our hands down to the sides. As our hands come down to the sides, take your chin as you exhale, drop it towards your chest. This time you're going to trace the collarbone over towards that left side. And then you'll inhale, extend that left arm up and around, placing it around this right ear, giving a little bit of love to the neck. If this feels fine, stay right here. If you need a little bit more, extend that right arm out to the right side. Either let the fingertips drop down on the mat, or imagine you're turning a doorknob back and forth, or pull that elbow in towards your side body. Full inhale here, not causing strain, just length. Full breath out. One more inhale. And that exhale, when you're ready, release that left hand down towards that left side. If your right arm is out, bring that right hand to your thigh. Exhale, drop the chin down towards the chest. That left arm comes in. Exhale, take that right ear over to the right side. Inhale, that right arm reaches up. Hand goes around the left ear. You're releasing and relaxing this left shoulder away from your ear. And then once more, find your variation of where you'd like your fingertips to go. Can stay on the thigh. They can extend to the left. You can twist back and forth. So spinning the thumb back and forth. You've got another full breath in here and another full breath out. Go ahead and release the right hand down towards that right side. Exhale, drop your chin towards your chest. Bring both the right and the left hand to the thighs. As the right and the left hand come to the thighs, slide them down towards your shin bones. And then exhale, dome your spine, catting it back. And then inhale, lift that heart forward, pulling the heads of the elbows back, expanding through the sternum. Exhale, dome your spine, send the vertebrae back. Inhale, lift that heart up. And once more, inhale. Exhale, take it back. And then inhale, we rise up. On our next breath in, we're taking Supti Grind. So begin taking the chest, the heart towards that top right corner as you inhale. And as you exhale, you'll take it to that back corner. If you're still sitting on something and it no longer feels comfortable, just remove it out of the way. Inhale to that top right corner, drag the body across the front. Exhale, send it back. 2 more in this direction. You can bend those elbows generously. You can swish the elbow heads towards the front. Last circle in this direction. And then we'll switch it up as we inhale. Inhale to that top left corner. Bring your heart, your chest around towards this right side. Exhale it to the back corner, around to the left. Continue these nice large circles, or perhaps for you, they're smaller circles. Neither is, again, incorrect. It's just what you need. So always guide yourself. Listen to that inner voice, that teacher that resides within you. 2 more in this direction, noticing what's going on with that low spine, keeping that navel intact towards the vertebrae. We'll finalize that last circle and we'll inhale, rise up nice and tall. Take a moment here as you close those eyes. Reflect on your intention, on that affirmation for yourself, and then exhale, let that breath go. Releasing the hands to the sides, release those knees if they're crossed, work your way onto all fours or that tabletop position. As you come into tabletop position, we'll begin to shimmy or wiggle our hips from the right side of the room to the left side of the room, getting a little more mobility through the lower half of our body. It seems like everyone has tight hips today, or the neck and the shoulders feel a little bit more strenuous or stressed out. So we're going to do our very best to release and let all of that go. Come back to center. As you return to center, curl your toes under. Maybe those knees need to come in a little closer. And then exhale, we're stretching the bottom of our feet as we send our hips back. Hands can slide back a couple of inches if necessary. The shoulders pull away from the ears. Make sure you're not being over aggressive with your own body, but make sure that you're able to feel this length. Take a breath in here and then exhale if you'd like. Roll those toes out to the edges of your mat. Sensation might be great, and that's okay as long as you haven't gone over the edge. Inhale, you'll bring the toes back in. Exhale, you'll roll them back out. Inhale, bring them back in. Exhale, roll them back out. On your next inhale, you'll roll them back in, sliding the weight of the body forward, walking those palms towards the top if necessary. Lift your feet off the mat, a couple of circles with your ankles in each direction, and then take the tops of your feet and pitter-pat them on the mat, just bringing back blood flow and sensation. Find that tabletop position, lift that right wrist off the mat, couple of circles with your right wrist in one direction and then the opposite. And if you'd like to take the back of the hand closer towards your knee and on the mat, let yourself do that. Bend the elbows softly, send the weight of the body back. You'll gain a little bit more stretch. If you're used to working on your phone, your computer, or maybe you're a musician and your fingers are being utilized for your work, then that might be something to help to release it. But most of us are textures in this world. Thumb can come towards the fingers. Go ahead and send the weight of the body forward, release the wrist, a few circles just to bring back that synovial fluid or that lubrication for the joint. Flip the palm the opposite way now. So your thumb is going to point to the right side of the mat as your fingertips point towards your kneecap. A soft bend of your elbow and then a slight shift back. As you take that slight shift back, only go as far as what feels right on the forearm and the wrist. No more, no less. Well, maybe less, but not more. Draw a breath in here, let that breath go. On that next inhale, Send the weight of the body forward. Release that right wrist. A couple of circles once more. Right palm goes down. This time we lift that left one, and we're going to mimic the same thing or duplicate it. Go ahead and pause. Back of your hand goes down to the mat. Fingers point towards your knee. You slide the hips back. There's a soft bend of your elbow. I know some of you like a little bit of movement, and that's perfectly fine, while some of us like to bring our thumb and our fingers together, and that's fine too. While some of us just enjoy that length by staying still. All on your inhale, feel the length, and as you exhale, release. Inhale, work the weight of your body forward, lift that left hand. Few circles. Now spin that thumb out, fingertips point towards the knee, soft bend of the elbow, and slide back until you find your edge. Any movement that you need or stillness here, you're welcome to go there. Breathe in through the nose, breathe out of the nose. On our next inhale, slide the weight of the body forward, release that left hand off the mat. Few circles once more, and then place those palms down. Spread your fingers nice and wide like a starfish, but not so wide that you're stretching the skin in between the digits. Curl those toes under. As we curl those toes under, shoulders pull back, and we'll inhale for that cow pose. Lift the heart and chest up. Exhale, tops of our feet press into the mat. We'll dome our spine to cat it up. Inhale, retraction of the shoulders, lifting of the heart. Exhale, doming that spine, catting it back up. You've got one more. Inhale, cow pose. And then exhale to cat it back up. Feel yourself rise up like a roller coaster. And then inhale, neutralize the spine. As we neutralize the spine, we'll bring those knees close towards one another. We'll tuck those toes under, slide the weight of the body back. Lift the knees off the mat when you're ready and keep them softly bent, and then tilt the hips up as you come into our first downward facing dog. We'll begin to march or paddle those feet out back and forth, feeling that length and that release through our hamstrings, possibly the calves and the bottom of the feet. If this is too much for you, stay on your knees instead, and you can wiggle those hips side to side. So do what feels right in this moment. Go ahead and pause wherever you're at, drawing a breath in. Letting that breath go, you let the head hang heavy. You let the shoulders reach away from those ears. And then on our next inhale, we'll lift the heels up nice and high. We'll bend those knees generously, looking forward. We'll either walk our feet in between our thumbs, or if you need to, walk your hands towards your feet so you can exhale for a forward fold. Inhale, we'll lift it up halfway, a flat back. Draw the ribs together and allow yourself to feel like a table. And then exhale, release the fingertips down. Separate your feet wider than hip width distance. Once you find that separation, grab the elbows, maybe hook the thumb on in between the forearm and the bicep, or some variation of it. If you're holding onto the neck, looking towards the top of your mat, let your head go. Let it get super heavy, like it's a basket, like your arms are a basket cradling the head. Swing the body right side to left side. Draw the breath in fully, letting your belly expand. And then exhale, you let the belly decompress. Coming back to center, we'll release our fingertips down to the ground, walking our feet back towards one another with a soft bend of the knees. We'll inhale, reverse and rise all the way up. Drag those arms to the sides, a big giant smile, palms will kiss over our heads, and we'll exhale, let the hands come into prayer and at our heart space. A soft bend of the knees. We'll inhale, pull those shoulders up, maybe gaze up, and then exhale, roll those shoulders down, perhaps gaze down. Inhale, circle sweep your arms all the way back up towards the sky. If you're at the back of your mat, walk to the top of your mat, and then exhale, pull the heads of the elbows down as you zip the ribs together. Inhale, your arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Knees are softly bent. Step back with that left foot. Drop that left knee down to the mat. Take the top of the left foot on the earth, and then inhale, fingertips or hands slide back. As you stabilize the body, those arms reach up. Allow this right hip to settle into its space. Let this left one push forward. Feel yourself extend the body up through the obliques, but relax this left shoulder. Another breath in here. And then exhale, pull the heads of the elbows down. Send your thumbs back. Inhale, your arms reach up. Our palms are going to kiss. We'll interlace our fingers, and then we'll bring the hands to the back of the head. If this feels right, open the elbows out to the sides, and then inhale, lean back. As you lean back, you're supporting your frame. You're not going too far back, though. On your next breath in, neutralize your frame. Release the hands, extend them up towards the sky. Exhale, our hands come down. As we release the hands down, they frame that right foot. We'll tuck our right toes. We'll lift our right knee, plant those palms down firmly, and then step that right foot back to meet the left one in that downward facing dog. Take a full belly breath in here. Let that breath go. On our next inhale, we'll lift the heels, roll our vertebrae forward into plank, drop our knees down to the mat, hug the elbows in. As we hug our elbows in, we can lift our feet off the mat, or you can keep the tops of your feet on the mat, whichever feels best for you. But you'll begin to lower the chest all the way down. Our hands slide out beyond the edges of our mat, so fingertips out to the edges of our mat. If your fingertips don't feel comfy, let the palms rest there. If that's not good, bring them by your breastbone instead. But wherever you're at, inhale, lift your chest a few inches or centimeters or even millimeters off the earth, looking forward, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, lower it all back down. Those elbows don't point out, the shoulders don't shrug up, they're away from our body. Inhale, we lift it up. Exhale, take that right shoulder down to the middle, look over to the left side of the room. You might find that release through the shoulder. Inhale when you're ready, coming back to center. Exhale, take your left shoulder down, look over to the right side. One last breath here. Let that breath go, and then inhale, coming back to center. On our exhale, we release the heart back down to the ground. We let our forehead rest on the mat. We slide those palms to our breastbone. We walk the knees together. We curl the toes under, sliding the elbow heads in and back. And then inhale, plank onto our knees. 2, exhale, child's pose, knees going wide, tops of the feet on the mat, sending the hips back as our big toes kiss. Slither your way to the back of the earth or the back of the mat as you bow your heart and chest down. Take a full breath in here. Let that breath go. Take another big inhale here and let that breath go. On our next inhale, if your arms are to your sides, extend them forward, lift your frame back up into tabletop position. As we come into tabletop position, we're going to line those knees with our hips, tops of feet on the mat, slide the hips back. We're taking 3 rounds of roller coaster cat-cow. So bend those elbows softly. You might need to gently pull the shoulders away from the ears. And then as we inhale, bring the heart, the chest forward like you're diving into a pool, and then lift yourself up for cow pose. As you exhale, dome your spine back like you're going in reverse. And then inhale, slither the heart forward. Keep those elbows in. Try not to send them out to the edges. Exhale, roller coaster your frame back. Last one, inhale. Full breath in. Feel that expression and that length. And then exhale, take it all the way back. And then inhale, we rise back up. As we rise back up, we'll bring those knees parallel to our hips, tuck those toes under as the toes go under, lift the knees, and then exhale into your downward facing dog. If downward facing dog, again, is not comfortable for you, stay on hands and knees in that tabletop position. On your next inhale, lift the heels, bend those knees, looking forward, walk or step your feet in between those thumbs, or walk your hands to your feet instead. Exhale at the top of the mat or back of the mat for a forward fold. Inhale, lift your heart up halfway. Keep a generous bend in those knees. This will allow the hips, the back to find more release and comfort than if you force straight legs. On your exhale, fold back down, separate the feet wider than hip width distance. This time I want you to take out your peace fingers, grab your big toes, and then take your thumb to the big toenail. Pull the elbows out to the left and to the right. Drop your head down so you're looking in between those thighs, and you can sway side to side. Some people like to begin to extend and straighten those legs one at a time or both of them at the same time. Whatever feels right for you. Just make sure you can breathe and make sure that it feels good on your frame. Take another big breath in. Let that breath go. If your legs are straight, go ahead and bend them generously. Release your hands from the big toes. Walk your feet back towards one another, and then we'll inhale, reverse, and rise all the way up. Fan those arms to the sides, up to the sky. A full breath in, palms together. Exhale, hands into prayer and at our heart space. Inhale, circle sweep those arms back up towards the sky. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. Draw a breath in, pull the shoulders down, knit the ribs together, and then exhale, extend to that left side of the room. Press firmly into that left blade of your little pinky toe. Full inhale, looking anywhere you'd like. Full exhale. Then inhale, coming back to center. Switch that grip. Exhale. Allow the heart to stay neutral or toward the front, and extend those left fingertips over towards that right side of the mat. Press through that right pinky side blade, not hyperextending either knee. One more inhale. One last exhale, then inhale, coming back to center, those arms release. Exhale, heads of the elbows pull down. Inhale, those arms reach up. Exhale, big toes together, gaze down, heels slightly separated, and we'll exhale into that chair pose. As we come into that chair pose, palms come together, hands come into prayer and at our heart space. If you've thrusted your chest forward, feel yourself sit the hip back and down. If you find you're losing balance, maybe you need to come up a little higher, but wherever you're at, smile and enjoy the moment. Breath in, breath out, a soft twist. We're going to extend that right hand forward, send that right hand down to the number 6 on the clock, extend that left arm forward, and then if it feels right, extending. If this doesn't feel right, bring the right and the left hand to that right thigh. If your right knee shifted forward, send that right hip back. One more inhale here and exhale here. Wherever you're at, inhale, the arms come back. The palms come into prayer. We'll exhale, hands to heart space. Breath in. Give your quads relief. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, melt it down. This time we're coming from chair from this forward fold position so those toes can kiss once more. Bend your knees, drop the hips down low. Inhale, lift your heart up high. Hands kiss, palms together, hands at prayer and at heart space. You're taking the twist to the opposite side. So if you need to rise up a little bit, go for it. Shift the weight of the heels towards the back. When you're ready, extend that left hand forward, left hand to the clock dial on the 6. Extend the right arm forward. Begin to look over towards your left side as both arms reach out, or keep those arms once more at the thigh or at your shoulders. Do your best not to rotate the hips unevenly. Breath in. Breath out. On the inhale, both arms reach back up, palms together. Exhale, hands into prayer and heart space. One last inhale here, and then exhale, release. Forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, melt it all the way back down. Inhale, lift all the way back up towards the sky, palms up towards the ceiling. If you're at the back of the mat, walk to the top of the mat. Exhale, heads of the elbows pull down. Inhale, those arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Lowering those palms onto the mat, allowing those knees to bend. Step back with that right foot. Drop that right knee down to the earth, top of the right foot on the earth. Slide your hands back, and when you're stable, lift the heart all the way up. Reach to the crown of the head. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Draw a breath in here. And on your exhale, your elbows pull down, your thumbs reach back. Inhale, those arms reach up, palms kiss. Interlace the opposite grip. So if you're used to left thumb over right, switch it out. And then as you interlace, take those hands behind your head. Pull those elbows out. On the inhale, you're welcome to tilt the chin up. Send the weight of the body to be protected by your hands. One more inhale here and exhale here. Then inhale, neutralize the spine. The elbows reach forwards, the arms reach up. Exhale, frame that left foot. Tuck the right toes, lift that right knee, plant the hands down. Take your time as you slide this left foot back into downward facing dog. Draw a breath in here in downward facing dog. Let that breath go. Inhale, lift the heels, roll your body forward, plank pose on those knees, unless you prefer off the knees. Allow the belly to be firm. Pull those elbows in, shrug those shoulders back, and then we'll exhale, lower it all the way down. As we lower all the way down, this time we're going to slide our forearms forward as the palms come to the mat. We'll lift the heart up in the Sphinx pose. We'll let our breath go here. One more breath in and breath out. Go ahead and take this next inhale. And as you inhale, send the elbow heads out to the edges, lower the body down. Let your forehead or maybe your nose rest on the mat, bend those knees, windshield wiper those legs, right side to left side. Taking a breath in, letting that breath go. On our next inhale, we'll lift the heart up. You're going to extend your right hand forward. You're going to send this right hand over towards that left corner. As it comes towards that left corner, the left arm reaches up and over. So now you're walking this right hand to that left side and vice versa. Looking forward, take a breath in. You're going to feel the length through the upper shoulders, the upper back, and then you'll exhale. Let your chin rest somewhere on this left arm. If you want to spin your palms up, you can. If you want to walk your hands further back, you can. If you prefer the blades of your little pinky fingers on the ground, that's okay too. You might even want to wrap those arms around yourself as you breathe in and out. We're just trying to release the shoulders, that shoulder girdle protection. If this is too much on your low spine, then you might want to slide a blanket underneath your belly. Take another breath in. Let that breath go. On your next inhale, press the fingertips or the palms into the mat. Lift your chin off the earth. Slide those arms out to the right and to the left side. Slide those palms back down to your breastbone. Inhale, lift up for a little baby cobra. As you lift up for that little baby cobra, the fingertips can come off the earth, or the fingertips anchor so lightly that you're barely touching the ground. One more inhale. If your feet lifted up, drop those feet back down. And then exhale, lower it down. Your forehead rests. Those palms are to your sides. Cactus arm style, and then bend those knees, windshield wiper those legs, right side to left side. We'll switch it out. Those legs extend long. As always, I always encourage you to be mindful of your back. So if your back is tender, let your legs go out wide. If your back is fine, then you can bring those legs as close as you'd like. But on our inhale, we begin to lift up, looking forward. Slide that left hand out. Take that left hand to the right corner. Now the right arm extends, and we cross it over. Start to walk your fingertips, maybe to the letter T, parallel to your body, or somewhere in that vicinity. Breathe in, looking forward. And then exhale, release the chin down onto the arm. Again, if your back is a little tender, you may even want to bend the knees. You may even want to slide something underneath the abdomen or gently draw the navel towards the spine. Hopefully this feels more of a wellness sensation than strenuous. Breath in, breath out. One more big breath in, and let that breath go. When you're ready, inhale, lift your chin away from the arms. Slide those arms back out. As you slide those arms back out, let your arms come to your side, palms point up, release your forehead down on the mat. If your legs are wide, that's fine, but bend those knees, windshield wiper, right side to left side. As you take your next breath in, extend those legs nice and long. Bring those palms back down to your breastbone. Walk those thighs and knees together. Tuck the toes under. Inhale, plank pose. From that, plank on your knees. From that plank pose, work the weight of the body into that tabletop position. And from that tabletop position, wiggle the hips right side to left side to further decompress our low spine. Let your head say a big smiley face, or maybe a yes. And then only when you're ready, big toes kiss, knees go out wide. We'll exhale, sink our hips towards our heels. Shimmy those hips side to side so that you can allow space for the body to rest. 2 inhales here, breath in, breath out. Another breath in, and that breath out. On our next inhale, we'll slowly begin to rise back out. Imagine you're like a little seed coming out of the earth. So you're taking your time. You're not rushing the process. You're bringing the knees together. You're tucking the toes under, lifting the knees off the mat. You'll exhale, tilt your hips up for downward facing dog. Go ahead and march the feet out if you'd like. Let your head get heavy and then find that stillness. Inhale, the heels lift up, bend those knees. Looking forward, you know the drill. Either walk forward as you exhale for forward fold, or if you prefer, walk the hands to your feet so you can forward fold at the back. Inhale, lift up halfway, flat back, belly is tucked in, ribs are running or coming in towards the midline. And then exhale, release down. Separate the feet wider than hip width distance. This time we'll take gorilla pose. So for that gorilla pose, you need to lift one foot off the ground. So I usually like to start with my right. Granted, it's mirroring you guys, so it's the left. Slide the hand underneath and then bend the knee as you step on the foot. Lift the opposite one. Place your palm on the sole of your foot and then release. The best way to get into this is 1 foot at a time with a generous bend of the knees with the head dangling. I enjoy straightening my legs, so you can try that. I also love wiggling my toes to massage my hand. We have a lot of little pressure points on our in between our thumb and that index finger. So your big toe knuckle might be hitting right around that area. And if it feels good, let yourself rock back and forth or squeeze. Wiggle those toes. It might be closer to that crease. Take one more breath in and one last breath out. From here, bend your knees generously. Start to lift one foot, slide that hand out. Lift the opposite foot, slide the opposite hand out. Heel toe your feet all the way back towards center. And then on that inhale, rising up and create circles with your wrist in one direction as you rise all the way up. Circle seat those arms up towards the sky. And then exhale, the elbow heads pull down. Inhale, our arms reach up, palms come into prayer, and we'll exhale, let our hands come into our heart space. Take a breath in. Close your eyes if you'd like, and then as you exhale, release those palms to your sides. As the palms come out to your sides, actively extend the thumbs out. A breath in, and then that breath out, hands down to our thighs. Setting up for tree pose. Some people like to use the wall, and if you're that individual, go for it. I'll be at the wall today just as a demo. Most of you guys know exactly what to do for trees, so feel free to gather your thoughts and allow the body to go there. But if you are at the wall, anchor down through the sole of your left foot. I always enjoy first finding that strength through my left side, and then inhale, lifting my right foot up. I enjoy, as I inhale, opening my thigh up. And sometimes I take a couple of openings just so that I can feel that mobility through my hip joint. But once I feel it, I point my toe down. I can either begin at phase one, which would be the ball of my foot on the earth, my left hip pushing towards the right side for neutralization, and the heel somewhere on this left leg. That could be it. Your next one could be you find a little more stability, so you anchor through the big toe knuckle, the little toe knuckle, and then the heel. And then the sole of your foot rests anywhere from the ankle below the kneecap. So do your best not to press into the knee, and do your best not to send the hip out. So bring that hip back in. I usually call it my mama hip, but others might call it something different. So find that strength. Your tree branches, let them go. If you want to go to bus stop 3, lift the leg up a little higher, bring the heel close to the groin area. And once you do, kiss the foot into the thigh, and the thigh kisses back equally. So there's that stability there. Do what feels right for you in this moment. And each side can be different. So enlightenment supposedly occurs when you're in tree pose and you can close those eyes. I unfortunately have never been able to do that. So perhaps you can. I was given by a good friend of mine, he said, focus on the third eye, or that space between your eyebrows as you close your eyes. Maybe that's the trick. Perhaps it works for him, but find something that's not moving. Let your tree branches go anywhere you'd like. One more breath in. Keep that isometric connection with the foot and the leg. And then we'll exhale, bring those palms together, hands into prayer and at our heart space. When you're ready, release the palms to your sides. Assist this right leg if you need to. Lower it down and then give the left foot love. So we've worked on that stability of our left ankle. Release, let it go. Pausing here before we move forward, we're going to inhale, circle sweep our arms regardless of where you are. Exhale, head to the elbows, pull down. Inhale, those arms reach up, and then exhale, we'll release the palms to our sides. Just letting the shoulders relax and release. Go ahead and stabilize through your right foot now. If you're at the wall, that's completely fine. You'll inhale, lift that left knee up. As that left knee comes up, find that strength within your core. Drop the shoulder heads away from the ears. All on your breath and time, begin to rotate and open that knee up, maybe once, twice, or 3 times. And then pausing with the knee opening up. Bus stop 1, toe down, ball of the foot. Bus stop 3, or that bus stop 4. Remember, you have the ability to bring those arms up. You're isometrically bringing the thigh, the inner thigh, and this leg together. You're breathing in fully. You're feeling yourself grow and rise. I talk about being a little seedling and taking your time. Well, this is where you get to let the sun shine upon you. Wherever you are, arms are anywhere. You've got one more inhale here. Find your focal point, known as our drishti. Draw the pelvic floor muscle up and in, or the perineum muscle. That's known as our mula bandha, meaning root lock. And then the core muscle. That's our uddiyana bandha. Last breath in, palms kiss, and we'll exhale, let the hands come into prayer and at our heart space. When you're ready, exhale the hands down. Give yourself that release, lowering down with control, stepping that left foot down, lift that right ankle. Couple of swirls, or maybe even a few shimmies. Wherever you're at, I invite you to come back to the top of your mat. As you come to the top of your mat, we'll inhale, circle sweep those arms up. Exhale, heads of our elbows pull down as our heart rises. Inhale, our arms reach up. Exhale, we'll forward fold. Bend those knees as much as you need to. Step back with that right foot. As you step back with that right foot, pivot that right foot into a little warrior 2. Cartwheel and rise up into that warrior two as the arms extend from the front of the house to the back of the house. That gaze is just beyond the middle finger. Back hand down on the ground, flip that left palm. Inhale, a small reverse here. Strong right leg, strong core, strong thighs. Exhale, extended side angle. You're not dumping the weight onto the thigh. Instead, you're rotating the heart open. And then when you're ready, extend and lift that right arm up. If you need a little bit more weight down, maybe shorten your stance. That could definitely be your extended side angle, a shortened stance. If you see your big toe on the outside edge of this left thigh, open the thigh up, hug the femur into its hip socket. On your next inhale, reverse it. And then as we exhale, cartwheel those hands to frame that left foot. As we frame our left foot, slide that left foot to the back, meeting the right as you come into downward facing dog. As you take your next breath in, let your head get heavy and send those hips up as you exhale. Inhale, the heels lift up nice and high. We roll the vertebrae forward. We're down to our knees, hugging those elbows in. We'll exhale, lower the body all the way down. As we lower the body all the way down, take a breath in, lift your heart up. Soft hands on the mat, elbows pull in, shoulders shrug back, tops of your feet stay grounded. The kneecaps can lift up if you need a little bit more, but try to keep your feet grounded. Exhale, release the body down. Inhale, plank on your knees to big toes together, to knees out wide. To exhale, child's pose. Work the hips back, send the body down. Breath in through the nose, breath out of the nose. One more. Letting it go. On our next inhale, we'll rise up. And as we rise up, we are making our way into a forward fold. But if you find that you can't do it from downward facing dog, then don't worry about it. Don't come into downward facing dog. So those of you who are in downward facing dog, lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward, walk or step your feet towards the top of the mat, or walk the hands to the back. If you prefer not to do that, just walk your hands back. Go ahead and step right foot, left foot, and now you're exhale into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, melt it all the way down. And then inhale, reverse and rise. Palms up. Exhale, heads of the elbows pull down. Inhale, extend those arms up. And exhale, we'll forward fold one final time. Fingertips down on the ground, anchoring through that left foot. Right foot. That left foot goes back. Spin it so that the blade is perpendicular to the back end of the mat. Hands can come to your quad as you inhale, rise up into your warrior two. Go ahead and spin those arms out. So it's all about taking your time, because this is a no rush hour. So extend those arms, feel active. If this is too much for you, hands on your hips, perfectly fine. Drop that back hand down, flip that right palm, inhale, reverse it. Reverse doesn't mean you have to push and strain. It just means that you're opening up the shoulder. You're sending the heart towards this right side. So it's all in your comfort level. One more inhale here, and then exhale, extended side angle. Remember, it's not how far you go or how much weight you dump into the thigh. It's where it feels appropriate for you today. Make sure the knee is in line with the hip and you're not going beyond the toes. One more inhale here. And that exhale. Inhale, reverse it. And then our last time we travel down, as we travel down, the fingertips frame this foot. We are on the ball of our left foot. Take your time as you step the foot back into that downward facing dog. That's your last one. Exhale. Inhale, roll into plank on those knees, and then exhale, child's pose. Draw a breath in here. Let that breath go. Take another inhale here and let that breath go. As we begin to take our next inhalation, we begin to lift the heart up. As we lift that heart up, we'll allow those knees to come close to one another. Allow that left hand to slide just a little bit closer towards the center of the mat so that you can press into the palm or into the finger pads. And then inhale, your right arm is going to reach up towards the sky, or maybe just bend the elbow out to cactus arm style. You'll exhale, thread the needle as you extend the right fingertips through that little space. Let your left hand go anywhere it feels right as you drop your right temple down to the mat. Decide, do I want to extend that left arm forward? Do I want to keep my left fingertips where they are? Do I want to extend that left arm up, bending my elbow, bringing the back of my hand to the small of the back? Sometimes this leg makes us feel unstable, and if that's the case, you can always kickstand that left leg out towards that left side, and it doesn't have to be in line with the hip. It could be a little further back. As long as you feel that length in your knees feel okay. Draw a breath in wherever you are. Opening up that space between the scapulas. Let that breath go. If your left hand is to the top of the mat or behind you, release it. Fingertips go down. If you happen to have your left leg out towards this left side, pull it back in, and then inhale, we all rise up. Pressing into our left fingertips, lifting our right ear off the mat, that right arm goes up. And if you'd like any little circles with the shoulder, take those little circles with your shoulder. Lowering that right palm down, wiggle, shimmy, or take a few rounds of cat-cows. We'll switch it out. Left palm down. Inhale, right palm down. Inhale, left arm out, cactus style or all the way up. Spread it when you're ready. You know all those little variations that I've offered, so begin to work your way into where it feels comfortable. You're reaching through the crown of the head. You have your pelvic floor, perineum muscle contracted. And through that contraction, that's your strength. That's your root lock. That's the area that allows you to stabilize your body. You also have the belly muscle. Keep that stable. One more breath in. One more breath out. If you had that arm extended to the front or around to your hip, release that right hand down. If you had that right leg out to the right side, bring that right knee in. And now tint the right fingertips, lift the left ear off the mat, extend and reach up towards the sky with that left hand, and any shoulder movement that you need, take it there. Just make sure that your left elbow feels comfortable. Release and lower that left hand down, wiggle those hips side to side. Go ahead and send your feet in one direction. Work your hips the opposite direction so that you can swing those legs forward. As we swing those legs forward, we'll extend our legs towards the top of the mat. Bend those knees generously, maybe even wiggle them out. From here, flex those toes, but do your best not to pull those toes towards you. Instead, let them be what appears to be soft, but you're really working to keep them in line. On an inhale, our arms reach up, our belly is tight, and as we exhale, we allow the frame to fold over. Your hands are anywhere it's comfortable. You can keep those hands underneath the hamstrings. You can support the calves. You can grab onto your ankles or toes, or they can just rest to your side. If you find that your spine is super, super rounded, maybe lift your head up slightly and pull your shoulders away from your ears. We're here just one more inhale and one last exhale. Then on our next breath in, tint the fingertips into the earth, lift the chest up, slide your hands towards your hips so that you can come into butterfly position. So now you're bringing the soles of your feet together. From this butterfly position, if you need your blankets to support those thighs, take your blankets. If you don't need them, no big deal. You don't need them. Restorative butterfly. The toes are further away from the pelvic region. A more active butterfly, pull those heels in. You decide which you need today. Breath in, anchoring through the sits bones. And then as you exhale, your hands can grip around the ankles or the blades of your feet as you fold over. If you'd like to use the back of your elbows or your arms to guide those thighs down, you can. Just make sure you're not being super aggressive with your body's needs or where you're at in this moment. Shoulders pull away from the ears, a full breath in. And that big release out. Another full inhale here. Letting that breath go. If you desire one more, take that one more. But if you're ready to lift up, inhale, begin to rise up. And as we rise up, slide your hands out to the edges of your thighs. Bring those knees together. Remove whatever might be in your way. Fingertips rest behind you with your fingers pointing forward versus back, causing any discomfort in our wrists. And we'll windshield wiper our legs right side to left side. If this feels good on your glutes or your piriformis, you might want to continue that. Or you may even want to let the knees fall to the right and kick that left leg out. Bring those knees center and then to the left, kick that right leg out. So you can do that more fluidly versus pausing. It's up to you. But when you're ready, go ahead and pause. And as we pause, slide your toes out a little further. As those toes come out a little further, either wrap your hands around the hamstrings or bring your hands to your shins, lift up nice and tall. And as we exhale, we'll bow that heart down, finding that rounding through our spine. If the hands are underneath, you might want to grab the elbows or you might want to grab the tops of your feet or even your shin bones. A breath in here. And that breath out. Another full breath in.
And that breath out. So this is mimicking our hare pose or rabbit pose. Instead of being on the crown of our head, this is just a little bit softer way. Last one. Feel that length through the neck, feel that length through the shoulders, and let that breath go. And then we'll inhale, take our time as we rise up. As we rise up, hands to our sides, slide those hips to the middle of the mat, and then support yourself as you roll all the way down. As you roll all the way down, knees come in towards your heart, and you're gonna rock the hips from right side to left side, or maybe even trace circles in the ceiling with those knees in each direction. However many circles you need in one direction, that's what you'll do. Maybe for you, that's not where you want to go, and that's okay too. If you're ready to pause and find that stillness, pause and find stillness as we come into happy baby. Those knees come out towards our armpits, our feet go up towards the sky. If it's accessible to you today, grab the blades of your feet. And if it's not, wrap those hands around the hamstrings, whether it's on the inside or the outside, you decide that. Wherever you are, there's comfort in your neck. So if your head is lifted because you're forcing the body to grab onto the toes, then take a blanket, support your head. That way you can grab them and there's comfort in the body. Feel the tailbone drop down. Notice what happens if the tailbone drops down. Sometimes our tailbone lifts up, and for some that feels great. And if that's you, then go for it. Otherwise, drop the tailbone down, find playful movement. Just make sure if you are resting on a blanket that it's level. From that happy baby, a big inhale in and that big exhale out. And then we're all releasing. As we release, the feet come together, the thighs and the knees come together. We'll bring those knees in towards our chest. If you're resting on that blanket, you might want to move it now as you bring your head down. Lowering the soles of your feet down, we are going to decompress that low spine by sending our feet out to the edges of the mat and windshield wiper those legs right side to left side. Take your time. Coming back to center, we'll walk our feet back towards one another. On that inhale, we're extending our right leg up, crossing that right ankle over towards that left quad. If you truly want pigeon, you're more than welcome to go to pigeon, but I was going to invite you to go into a supine twist from this particular position. So it could be that for you, you lower the sole of your right foot down towards that left side, and you find that length through the twist as well as the hip. But if that doesn't feel delightful for you, then go ahead and bind and take figure 4 instead. So your choice. If you did let the right foot come down to the left side, you can allow the back to rest comfortably. You can bend this right elbow and take your gaze over towards that right side. You'll feel it more through the outside edge of the hip as well as perhaps that IT band. You can hang on to the right ankle. You can either slide it out a little bit more if it's comfortable for you. Some people like to lift the sole of that left leg up and create what is known as a little cat's tail. But again, it's not necessary. It's just whatever feels right for you. Some people actually like to let the knee on the right side just point down towards the mat. And if that's it, that might feel better for you. So decide where you're at, but flex the right foot. Relax the left glute. It wants to do a lot of work. Keep those arms cactus or T. Maybe continue to look over towards that right side. You've got one more breath here. Letting that breath go. If you're in figure 4 in that pigeon pose, come back to center. If you were in the variation I offered, look back up towards the ceiling. Take your time as you bring that left foot down and then inhale, that right leg goes up. We'll extend our right leg long. We're all going to take a big good morning stretch as we reach, and then we'll slide our hands down as we exhale, bending that right knee, left leg goes up, mimic it on the opposite side. So where did you go? Figure 4. For that variation where we're opening up the hip furthermore, releasing that low spine. Take your time wherever you're at. Decide what this side needs. It could be different than the other side. You might notice that one knee is not as forgiving, or one hip is actually not as forgiving, or it's just a little bit more constraint. So whatever it is for you, just acknowledge it and honor it. Know that nothing is wrong with you. You're perfect the way you are. It's just an imbalance in our body, and you're here working towards that balance, whatever it may look like. Breathe in through the nose, soften that left glute, Breathe out of the nose. Got another one. Big giant breath in. Big giant breath out. We'll begin to release, whether it's figure four, this variation in the twist, letting the sole of that right foot come down to the ground, our hips align. We'll inhale, lift that left leg up, and exhale, lower that left heel down. As that left heel goes down, that right leg extends. We'll inhale, big morning stretch, and then exhale, cactus those arms or tee those arms to the sides, bend those knees, and now we're real supine twist. You can either just shift the hips over towards that left side, or you can lift those knees up towards your belly, and then exhale, release the knees down. If your knees are off the mat, grab something. Let yourself find that comfort. Let the legs be greater than a 90-degree angle. Let that left shoulder anchor into the mat. And only when your neck feels good, look over towards that left side. And you can also use this right hand to softly allow a little bit of an anchoring for this left side, this left thigh. You're here, one more inhale. And that exhale. Come back to center. You'll look up towards the ceiling. The knees come back to center, and then you'll switch it out. Bring your item with you if you know you need it. Drop those knees to the left side. Ring that spine out. Let this right shoulder relax. That's the tip right here. If that right shoulder is really high, it's hard. So if you need to release the angle from a 90-degree angle to a larger than 90-degree angle, go for it. It's all about your needs today, truly every day. Honor yourself. Breath in, breath out. One more big breath in. Feel that nice supine twist and let that breath go. Looking directly up, we'll inhale, bring those knees back towards our body. Give yourself a nice squeeze. And if there's anything that you're still craving, maybe you're at your wall, you're at your couch, and you want to finalize our practice with legs up the wall or legs draped over the chair or the couch, know that that's an option. But otherwise, inhale, release, and exhale. Find yourself in our final resting place of Shavasana. Heels go out to the corners of the mat, toes open up naturally. There's nothing that you're doing here to feel that engagement of your muscles. This is when you get to rest, the arms to our sides. Let's all take a collective breath in together. And we'll all exhale, sigh that breath out. Reflect on your intention for just a brief moment. And with gratitude, let everything go. Letting the mind, the body, and the spirit connect and rejoice as one. Softness through the features of the face as you enjoy these next moments as your gift. Deciding if you need a few more moments here for rest, for that rejuvenation, or if you're ready to arise and awaken, start with a big inhale through your nose. Bring that awareness to the body as you let that breath go. Invite movement into your fingers and your toes, wrists and ankles, letting the head rock from right side to left side. And then as you neutralize the spine, decide if you want an inhale for a big morning stretch, or if you prefer an exhale as you curl everything in. When you're ready, you'll exhale and roll over towards your right side. Stay there for a breath in and a breath out in that fetal position. And then guiding yourself up into a comfortable seated position, facing towards the front of your mat or in any direction that you see fit. Always on your breath in time, we bring our hands into prayer. We'll take an inhale through our nose, and as we exhale with our eyes closed, we bow to ourselves, we bow to this journey, and we bow to one another. The divine in me salutes, honors, and recognizes the divine love and light in each of you. It is with
gratefulness that I share this time with each of you. And thank you for this time. From my heart to yours, have a beautiful weekend. Namaste.